Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of all the holiday foodstuffs. It's time for something different. And I thought, oh, chicken enchiladas. Oh, they're so good. And they're easy to make, and they're really quite delicious. I'm gonna make some enchilada sauce too. I have a great recipe from the New York Times for that. So hold on, let's do something different. And let's make some chicken enchiladas tonight. Now we're going to start to make our enchilada sauce. So in my large saucepan, I have 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, to which, once it's nice and hot, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to sprinkle a little in there. Yep, we're starting to sizzle, so that's terrific. All that flour in there. Now, if you've ever made gravy or made a roux, this is sort of what it's going to look like. So I've got my flour in here. Now I'm just going to start to add some of my spices. So I have 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. If you have ground oregano, that might be even better. So in goes oregano. And I have 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Gotta get these jars going. Now I'm switching to a half. So a half teaspoon of diamond crystal salt or kosher salt, and half a teaspoon of dried cumin. So if you have a lot of spices in your cabinet, this is a good way to use them up. Okay, now I'm just gonna stir all this together. And it's gonna start to look a little paste-like that right there. And we want this to sort of cook for about a minute, get all a little bubbly. Okay, nice and bubbling up. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now we want this tomato paste to kind of caramelize a little in the pan. So I'm just going to mash it in. I want it to mix with what's in here. I'll turn my heat down just a tad. Okay, now it's going to look very paste-like. Now it's just a glob right now. So we're just going to continue to mash this in, and we need this tomato paste to kind of caramelize just a little bit. This is a very spicy, fragrant thing. You can really smell all those spices in there. We're going to do this just for about a minute, no longer than that, really. This is what's going to help give that proper color to our enchilada sauce. I want this just to sort of brown up a little bit, caramelize. Okay. Now I have 3 cups of low sodium vegetable stock. You could also use low sodium chicken stock if you like. And now I'm just going to start to add this. You ever made gravy, you know that sound. I'm going to add the stock a little bit at a time, because we want it to get well incorporated. Just whisk that right in. So yeah, it's good. Okay, I'm just going to add the rest of the stock. Y'all, I confess, I made a mistake. I was supposed to add a 1/4 cup of chili powder. I just filled it up over there and left it over there. So I added it in. It's going to be fine because it's going to come to a boil. And then we'll continue. That would have made a huge difference in this enchilada sauce. So, you know, things happen, but I'm glad I caught it. That could have been very disappointing. Very disappointing. Okay, we have a nice boil going here, and I'm now going to reduce this down to a simmer. So we want this to reduce in the pan a little bit. So I am not going to cover it. We want as much to evaporate as we can. So just take it down to a simmer and keep an eye on it for about 5 minutes, and let's make sure that it's thickened just a little bit. Our sauce has reduced. It's been about 6 minutes, so I think we can turn this off and let it, cool down. It's reduced enough. It's nice and thick. And at this point, we can cool this off. You can put it in an old salsa jar. You can put it in the refrigerator. It'll be good for 3 days at least. You can freeze it up to 3 months, but now you have your homemade enchilada sauce. Now it's time to start on our filling, and I have a skillet here. I'm putting in about 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna get that hot, and we're gonna add 1 small onion that I have diced into smaller pieces, because this will go right into the enchiladas. I see my oil moving around the pan. Yep. Now I'm going to add my onion. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. So we want to cook our onion, and then we'll just be adding in a few more things for our filling. Now, at this point, you can take boneless, skinless breasts and then, put them into small cubes. And you can cook that chicken with the onion. But I always find the easiest way to do it is to just go get a beautiful roasted chicken. So I deboned it and I put it into small pieces, and then that's what we're going to use in our enchiladas. I also have 1 cup of whole kernel corn. I have 1 can of green chilies that are diced. These are mild, whatever you want to use. I did end up sneaking in a little bit of jalapeno powder into the enchilada sauce. I just couldn't help myself. Couldn't help it. So it will have a little bit of spice. So these are mild chilies, so that'll be good. So we'll let our onions cook for another minute before we start putting everything in. Now these are black beans. This is 1 15-ounce can of black beans that has been thoroughly rinsed. So all of that stuff, the sludge, all of that stuff that's in that can of beans has been nicely washed off, and they're nice and clean, ready to use. So let me cook this for just a minute longer. Okay. My onions look like they are nice and soft, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my chilies. Lovely. They smell good. They smell very good. Okay, next I think I'll add in my corn. Makes it really easy because you're not, having to cook the chicken with this roasted chicken, but you just want to get everything here all mixed up together well. It's nice that it's warm too. Okay, and with my black beans, my nicely rinsed black beans. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add my chicken. So this is one roast chicken. It ended up being about a pound and a third, I guess, of chicken. I did weigh it. I want to make sure we kind of got the right ratio here. And now we're just going to mix this together really well. So this isn't saucy. So the enchilada sauce, when we add that to the mix, will really, give it some cohesion. But right now we just have a nice mix of chicken, beans, corn, chilies, and onion. Okay, so now we have our mixture. I'm just going to put this to the side. This is going to be what we fill our tortillas with. And then next step is heating the tortillas. We have to heat the tortillas so they're nice and pliable. All right, these tortillas could break relatively easily, so we want to be careful with them. And I'm just going to spray them with a little bit of olive oil. And we're just going to heat these slightly. And these are small. These are about, 6 inches. This is corn tortillas. You could do it with flour tortillas as well. Corn tortillas is a little more traditional, and that's what we're going to use today. But all we're going to do is just slightly heat these up. We just want to get a little bit of warmth so it'll be a little pliable. These are somewhat pliable, but I also feel that if I really rolled this, that it could break. So this is a good step to make sure your tortilla is going to be ready for rolling. And I'm just going to put them off to the side. Sprayed a little bit of oil, and we're going to keep a towel on top of them just to try to keep them warm, because this will take a few minutes just to get these, 15 of these babies heated up. And it's going to take it because these are small, so I'll just be doing this for a little while. Now we're going to assemble. I did spray a little bit of Pam in this 9x13 baking pan. And I'm gonna pour just a little bit of the enchilada sauce on the bottom of the pan. Because when we put the enchiladas down, we're gonna invert them. This will be sort of a little glue. We don't want it too gloppy. We're gonna pour, enchilada sauce all over the top. There we go. Okay, so now we have our pan coated with enchilada sauce. We have all of our beautiful little lovely corn tortillas. So step one, we are gonna take just a little brush. You can either dip these or you can brush these with enchilada sauce. Then we're gonna add filling just right down the center. You don't want it too thick or you're not going to be able to close your enchilada. And then we're going to top it with a little bit of cheese. And then we are going to roll our little enchilada. Looks like a little mini taco or something. And then we're going to place it seam side down right into that sauce. So I once, with my friend Trish, and I think Paula and Sophie, we did chicken enchiladas for a soup kitchen, and we made probably, I don't know, 100 or more. It was a lot of chicken enchiladas. But it was a great thing to take. It was something different that they don't always get, so it was fun to do. We had a little assembly line going, so you could do this with your kids, your family, get a little assembly line going. Everybody can sort of partake in the dinner making, make it a little bit of fun. Just like my mom and I used to do. We used to cook a lot together. Hi, Mom. And had a good time doing it. Okay. So you kind of get a rhythm down. So we are going to brush the enchilada. We're going to fill it. Top it with a little cheese. And then we're just going to roll it up. Going to seal it just a little bit. And then we're going to turn it seam side down. So I'm just going to continue to do this as we fill this up. Got a lot to go. But it's kind of, you don't have to think about it. Just kind of move and do it. So it'll be a nice soothing exercise. But if you can get your kids involved, that would be great. Something they can enjoy. So I'm going to serve this with a little bit of a salad. We have some guacamole and chips to start. And my friend Trish is coming over, so that'll be great. We made those enchiladas together several years ago, but I thought of her today, and I thought, oh, enchiladas. Friends are a wonderful thing. Friends are a wonderful thing, as is cooking with your mom. So, all right, well, this is going to be very repetitive, so I'm just going to let you go, and I'll check back in with you once I get a full pan here. Okay. All right, I ended up making about 17, and I did have filling left over, so I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with that. And this is my remaining sauce after putting sauce on the bottom and, all of that. So now I'm just going to pour the sauce right over these enchiladas in both pans. And then we're just going to take I bought about 3 cups of, mixed Mexican cheeses. So this is like a 4 cheese blend. And then we're going to sprinkle that on top. Wow, it smells good, I gotta say. My oven is at 350. And we're only going to bake this, for about 20-25 minutes. Everything in it is cooked. So all we're really doing is getting it nice and hot and melting all the cheese and just sort of letting everything blend all together. Okay. So that is it for my enchilada sauce. Good to the last drop. And now we're going to sprinkle it with cheese. I don't know that I'm going to use all 3 cups, but let's see where it takes us. I don't like it to be so cheesy that you don't, taste anything else. And I got the not the finely shredded, little thicker. So that should be good. Oof, this is going to be good. Yeah, I don't think it's going to take all that cheese. So that's good. So this is about 2 cups. If you want to add more, I'm going to add just a little bit more so I get total coverage, but I'm definitely not going to use all of it. So whatever filling I have left over, well, I can make some. I do have some flour tortillas too. I can make some chicken quesadillas. That'll be good. And just have a little Mexican fest. And they're easy, really easy to do too. So that'll be fun. Okay, I think that's good. I don't want to over cheese it. So there you go. Okay, fantastic. So in the oven they go, and get them hot and bubbly. So I'm going to bake one now, and I'm going to bake one in just a little while, so it's nice and hot out of the oven when my friend Trish gets here. So fantastic. But I'm going to bake one for you, and we're going to taste it and see how it is. Okay, be right back. Well, I pulled them out of the oven and they were hot and bubbly. I have some freshly chopped cilantro, which I will sprinkle on top. What a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing. See? How pretty is that? Nice and delicious. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So now I'm just going to cut myself a little enchilada, and let's give it a try. And then I have a pan number 2 to put in the oven. So really, it makes dinner for a crowd. So if you have a big family, this is going to be great. And also, like I said, I also had some of that leftover filling. And I just told Mark I'm probably going to make chicken quesadillas with it. And he said, oh boy. So, oh wow, this does look really good. Okay. All right. Here we go. I don't think it's boiling hot anymore. I hope not. What? Oh yeah. So hot. That is so good. I think the last time we made these, we didn't make them with corn, we made them with flour. Very different flavor. I like them both. Oh, I'm just getting that spice. Remember I said I put a little jalapeno powder in that enchilada sauce? Of course, those mild chilies are in here too. Oh, this is really good. This is really, really good. Easy. It does take a tiny bit of time, but it's a nice economical meal that you can stretch for a big family. We're going to stretch. We're going to, have guests over, and we're going to have some leftovers, and we're going to have some chicken quesadillas. So great way to use a roasted chicken. So if you want this recipe and the recipe for the enchilada sauce, just go to almost-martha.com, and that's where you'll find this along with all the other recipes that I've done. And you can also follow me on Instagram and follow me on YouTube. Then you'll get all of our episodes as they drop. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you give it a try. This is a really great dinner. I'm going to serve it with a little green salad. It's going to be perfect. So I hope you try it, and I hope to see you next time right here on Almost Martha.